So y'all gonna act like Jay-Z didn't help Hit Boy get out of a slave deal with UMG? What up, where's your boy Charles Brown back again talking facts? Hit that like button, hit the subscribe, hit notification bell. Keep sending those cash apps to CLBMG. Join the membership gang. Listen, I do stories from Jay-Z from time to time. And here and there, I'll get people in the comments that say Jay-Z's selfish. He don't want to help nobody in the business, in the culture. He only does things as a capitalist. He's bad for the black race. There's a lot of things that I think are unfair and unfounded. Jay-Z gives a ton of money to charity. Jay-Z helps a lot of rappers. We all know that he helped Lil Wayne out of Lil Wayne's own mouth with millions of dollars that Lil Wayne owed. Birdman wasn't paying Wayne, and Wayne was blowing through his money. He owed mad taxes, couldn't pay him, and Jay-Z, out of nowhere, which we won't forget that, Wayne was one of his main competitors coming for his neck, trying to be in that seat. Wayne was the antithesis of rivals become idols, because Wayne openly was vying for Jay-Z's crown around the time of the Carter 2, Carter 3. Wayne was openly saying, I want to get that crown on Jay-Z's head. So Jay took the look. They had a couple little back and forths, right? A couple sparring matches, little words back and forth. That's you got baby money. That's my lady money. And those little things. Then what Lil Wayne said, kidnap your lady money, all this little stuff. They had their little back and forth. So for Jay to go in his pocket, right, and pay millions to help Lil Wayne, that shows a very mature attitude, and they've been boys forever. It was a friendly competition. You got Lil Wayne on Hello Brooklyn on Jay-Z's seminal record, American Gangster, which I always tell y'all that record was slept on. That's one of Jay-Z's top 5 best albums that he did. I got a video down, if you go back a few weeks ago, probably about 2 weeks ago, where I was speaking on Jay-Z's albums, the order, the listing of 1 through 20 or whatever it is. And I put American Gangster very high. Well, Lil Wayne did the hook on Hello Brooklyn. That was one of the first times that we saw a guy of that stature be called in to just do a hook, right? It said featuring, we were like, Lil Wayne's on the album, da-da, and he just did the hook, Hello Brooklyn, right? Which I like the record. It is what it is. Some of you weren't ready for American Gangster, and that is what it is. But end of the day, Jay-Z gets knocked, and a lot of people, I always say it all the time, a lot of you people hate success. You love people going up. You hate it when they get up there, right? And you want to knock them down. It happened to Kendrick, it happened to Nas, it happened to a lot of people that on their way up as they're young, trying to build their name. You love them, you champion them, and you make it like, oh my God, I can't wait till this guy wins. When they actually win is when you want to bring them down. And a lot of people find many reasons to hate on Jay. They say Dame Dash, or, you just pick a number. It's a million things that people hate on Jay. The Nas beef, the Prodigy beef, anything, Solange, like whatever you want, Lemonade, whatever. Pick a beef, right? For whatever people get upset about Jay, just the title thing, just for him just having money, just for him being arrogant. So it's a million things. But what happens in my comments, a lot of people will tell you what he don't do, and how he falls short. But a lot of people won't acknowledge when he does big things, and or helps people without asking for the praise. And I know a lot of other YouTubers and people who are influencers will talk about Jay-Z, and the stories come up when he didn't do something right? When he didn't follow through the way they thought he should. But what about when he helped somebody and they actually say, Jay-Z looked out for me, but the story doesn't get covered that way? So I want to talk about this because I came across this thing where Hit Boy says Jay-Z helped free him, and he didn't word it as a slave deal, but this is literally a slave deal. UMG had Hit Boy in a slave deal that didn't end. He signed some paperwork as a young teenage producer that was like, it never ends, you're here forever. And Jay-Z helped get him out, but nobody wants to talk about that, but I'm going to talk about it. And I know let me slow you bubble bath rapper fans before you get started about coming in here about UMG. This ain't the same. I know you're gonna say, see, this is what Drake was trying to tell you. He was trying to free the game he was trying to do this for the little man. And now you're gonna sit here, you're gonna prop up Jay-Z for trying to free the clutches of UMG on the industry. This ain't the same thing. For one thing, Drake ain't the little guy in a slave deal, right? He is in a 360 deal, but he getting a lot of money to be in that 360 deal. $400 million. At that point, you ain't nobody's slave, gang. I'm just gonna be honest. Okay? So we're not going to do this and try to make him a martyr or a victim like he's trying to paint himself. Before you Drake fans get in the comments and start talking about, see, this is what we were trying to tell you last summer when your boy Kendrick came and used his brand, his fame to try to slander K-Dot because he's, to slander Drake because he's jealous, right? He's been jealous. He's been jealous of the boy for years. And the boy put him on. Before you come in my comments with all that Drake nonsense, it ain't the same. Hit Boy was a young teenager that got trapped in a deal and Jay helped him get out. So let's talk about this. Hit Boy says Jay-Z helped free him from a publishing deal and it led to building a much stronger business foundation for him. The producer born Chauncey Hollis Jr. has been in the music industry for nearly 2 decades. I didn't know Hit Boy been around for 20 years. This is news to me. Right? I didn't know. I know he's been around. I could trace back my memory probably 10, right? At best, but I did not know it's been 20 years that he's been doing this thing. But let me continue. Chauncey Hollis Jr. has been in the music industry for nearly 2 decades. He made his foray into music by releasing mixes on MySpace and selling burnt CDs outside a mall for only $5. At age 19, he secured a $50,000 co-publishing deal with Universal Music, which he later learned had no end date. So let me stop right there and understand. He signed a publishing deal with Universal Music Publishing Group that has no end date, which is insane, right? He had to have no manager, nobody read over the contract, or they read it and was like, listen, this is such a great opportunity. We can figure it out later, but sign that, get that 50 grand. You're going to probably want to be here forever anyway. I don't know what they told him, but that's wild. Where he was in a deal, that's a slave deal for 50 grand. I don't know. Probably was, if they're going to sign you for 50 grand for an endless deal, it's probably even worse inside the deal. It's probably even worse. So I don't even know what's going on, but let me continue. The Times notes, as Afrotech, this story is on Afrotech. Go over to Afrotech, check out the full story. As Afrotech previously recorded, he was in a vulnerable position, raised by a teenage single mother. His father spent most of his life in prison, so at the time, Hit Boy had little mentorship or knowledge of music contracts and how to navigate the business. Hit Boy went on to experience great success, collaborating with industry titans such as Drake, Lil Wayne, Beyonce, Mariah Carey, and even Jay-Z, producing the song N-Words in Paris in 2011. So that song, when it first came out, I knew it was a hit record. I remember being down at the radio station with one of the guys I know from out here, and I told him that N-Words in Paris record is a bona fide hit because the conversation was at the time that album, right, the Watch the Throne album was not a good record, and there was no records on that. Believe me, gang, I know it sounds crazy now, right? I know it sounds crazy when you look back on it, but at the time, it was a lot of chatter that Watch the Throne was a dud. It was too far left. Right, a lot of that Euro trash beats, which I loved, by the way. Right, like what we talk, no church in the wild, and what they talking about, not on there, but no church in the wild, and a couple other songs on there. It was too advanced. It was too advanced, and it was some of them beats were like stutter step, and it was just people were not ready. Let's just be honest. So I was at this station talking to the DJs down there, and I said. They were telling me that the album was a dud. I said, you got to go back and listen to this album again. This album is fire from beginning to end. You got to get your ear. I said, the people, this thing going to be crazy. And he said, they put me on the spot. We was live on the air and they said, well, name the record. Give me one record that's going to be fire off that album because we don't think it's good. We think the whole thing is garbage. I said, that Niggas in Paris is going to be a mega hit. It's going to be a monster hit. Mind you, this was 2 days in after the album dropped. I said that N-Words in Paris is going to be a problem. They were like, all right, we'll see. Well, I guess your boy was right. The motherfuckers went to Paris and played this shit like 100 times in a row. Let's just be honest. So, yeah, I was right. And that record was a smash record. But, gang, I know it sounds crazy to say that album, people were sleeping on that album. But at the time, they were sleeping on that album, okay? Let me continue. In an interview with Afrotech, Hit Boy credited the song and partnership with Jay-Z with changing his earning potential as a producer. Jay-Z helped Hit Boy break free from his long-term contract with Universal Music Publishing Group. He told Afrotech that having a team that aligned with his vision for the future helped him build a stronger business foundation. He named influential hires like my lawyer Jason Baryarski and his manager Nima just really having the same vision and sharing the same passion behind his career in music and the things that he wanted to get accomplished. So Jay-Z somehow behind the scenes got this guy, and this don't happen, gang. When they got you, they got you. It's going to take a lot of people. It's going to take somebody really strong in this business to snap a deal like that one, especially at the level he's at, the money he's making. That's a real big bag they're going to be giving up. So it's going to take somebody to say, listen, yeah, I'm going to need y'all to go ahead and get him out of this deal. That was Jay-Z at the time. And I don't know if people just glossed over it or didn't see this article or didn't understand that this was going on. But at this point, Jay-Z deserved flowers for helping this young man, because he ain't a young man no more. He grown as fuck. But at the end of the day, this is one of those moments where we could say Jay-Z did the right thing for the culture. This guy would never, ever forget what Jay did for him. Jay didn't have to do that. A lot of these older guys, they mind their business. A lot of these older guys don't want to get involved with these younger guys because they're still competing with them, right? Remember Diddy said, listen, don't call me Unc. You know what I'm saying? Don't call me none of that because I'm still competing for the same bitches, right? This was right before Diddy went to jail. If you go back and look at that Breakfast Club interview, Diddy was talking big bone shit about him competing with these young guys. So a lot of these young guys still got these old heads in the way, right? Remember they was talking about old heads standing on the couches in the VIP just like the young guys. They still doing that, and it's kind of weird, gang. But at the end of the day, Jay-Z was one of the elder statesmen, came out with an album called 444, telling you to buy buildings and buy paintings instead of buying nonsense, right? Start teaching you generational wealth. Well, this guy helped this guy out of that, and I think he deserves flowers and some praise and some kudos, right? Y'all need to be saying, yo, listen, I know that we don't always hear about what Hov does, but end of the day, this is one of the things you heard about. So now carry that out into the world with all that hate y'all be doing. At some point, y'all can just say, well, you know what? He does help artists, right? That's a new thing going around. Like they're trying to say, Kendrick don't help nobody. Remember Young Thug's leaked phone call? What leaked fucking shit? Shit wasn't leaked. The shit motherfucker just went down there and called and said, can I get the calls from Young Thug? Wasn't no fucking leak. But at the end of the day, Young Thug's leaked calls. He said, Kendrick don't help nobody. What does he do? Who he help? And they're still trying to push that narrative today. I saw a thing that a post literally on Twitter yesterday where a guy saying Fat Joe said Kendrick. He really didn't. So news flash, the thing that's going around, Fat Joe never named Kendrick. He could have been talking about Kendrick or not, but he never said Kendrick doesn't help anybody. But that's the new narrative, that Kendrick don't help nobody, this, that, and the third. Well, that's the new narrative that people want to run with and paint that on people. But let me just leave that here. Jay helped a lot of people, right? Jay put a lot of people on. The whole Rockefeller Records is because of Jay, regardless of what Dame Dash wants you to believe, right? So all them people, Oskino and Sparks, all these people, Beanie Siegel, that guy. And I know a lot of people say, well, when he dissolved Rockefeller Record, he ain't helped nobody. He left everybody hanging. He left Beans. Well, Beans went with Dame Dash Music Group. I don't know if y'all remember that. Beans had a choice, and Beans left to go with Dame Dash Music Group. If you remember correctly, it was what nigga Jay said, it ain't many of us, but it's plenty of us, right? Because it was only him and Kanye holding down the whole Rockefeller Record, right? I got this from here, yay. Like, remember, they still had Rockefeller. It was still Rockefeller, my home, this and that. Remember the Diamonds remix? So, yeah, a lot of them guys ran for cover after the breakup, right? A lot of them they didn't know where to go. They wasn't close enough to Jay and didn't believe in Dame Dash. So a lot of them dudes just started making videos talking about, I don't know what happened, right? End of the day, man, listen, that's the whole moral of the story, that this is a moment in time where you guys can put this out there instead of all the nonsense you always putting out. You can say, okay, at the end of the day, Hit Boy is where he is. He's in a better financial position because somebody actually helped him, and the guy named was Sean Carter, a.k.a. Jay-Z. That's it. That's the whole message. That's the whole story. All right, I'm out of here, man. CLBMG. Head on over to black-yeti.com. Let them know who sent you. They ship all over the continental U.S. Also, every Wednesday night, we go live on The What Show, me, TJ, and Fliz. And I'm about to pop off this Patreon account. That's about it's only a few days away. It's going to be called This, That, and the Third. And it's going to be extra credit on stuff that I talk about here and different things I never talk about here. All right, so stay tuned for that. At the end of the day, it is what it is. I'm going to catch you on that flip side. I'm out. Peace.
Look, mission impossible to drop a few lines without dropping old times when Southern Hill was still a gold mine. When pistol grips was my shit and I sold mine. When Alias was not a show and they told mine. Elevate your mind with high quality THC infused products. BlackYeti.com. Black-Yeti.com.
CLB.
Get my coat, get my sheepskin, grab my wallet, get my pocket knife, and get that hat right there. We out. Grab my pocket knife too. Let's go. When I first came to the city, niggas didn't believe me. I just wanted to join a team and throw assist pass easily. 6 man off the bench, alley-oop pass freely. Suit up for 1 game and hope a scout might see me. But nah, niggas is greedy, wasn't rocking with him. Unplugged the scoreboard, put a lock on the gym. Told me to power forward, point guard at the rim, and left me with no center and a ball full of phlegm. Not knowing that I'm a dog, a Rottweiler within, with the heart of a pit bull that don't bark for pretend. My bites cut deep, break the bone and the skin, with the level of hustlenomics you do not comprehend. So first I took a block down on the west side end, and then secured a spot with some goons and some kin, and then sent out some flyers, let the games begin. And in 6 months time, the city like that's him. Oh yeah, he the one that moved the hustle to the burbs. And yeah, he the one that knocked the hustlers off the curb. And yeah, he the one that set up shop without a word. And he the one that got it cracking, and all he did was rapping by the Hooters. I kept killers from being shooters. Put a mic in a thug's hand, now he loyal like Pats fans. Take a man off the streets past the needles and crack cans. Promise mama to keep him safe, then put some food in his face, and he'll kill for you. But I don't need him for that. Click like, click share, tell them bitches we back. Share the whole location, tell them niggas where we at. Cause we out here, we ain't the cheese, we the trap.